You are now tuned in to D Streams TV. Streams. What's going on, y'all? What it is, man? Dang. Dang, what it do, peeps? What it is, y'all? How we doing today? We feeling on this fine, what is it, Wednesday? Man, how we feeling on this fine Wednesday, man? We feeling all right on this fine Wednesday? You know what I mean? Wednesday is one of them days, man. It's the middle of the week. If you've been working since Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Like your boy, if you've been working since Sunday, it's one of them things where you just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, I thought this was supposed to be the half of the week. I thought this was supposed to be half of the week. It ends up being not half of the week. This actually ends up being we gotta wait till tomorrow for it to be half of the week. Well, y'all actually, I guess Tuesday would have been half of the week. Yeah, Tuesday would have been half of the week. But man, you know what I'm saying? If you shout out to everybody working hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Putting in that work daily, going to their day jobs daily. You know what I mean? Shout out to them people. You know what I mean? Because them day jobs will get on your nerves real bad. That's like the title of this strip. The title of this string. My nerves is bad, man. Nerves is terrible. You hear what I'm talking about? And I ain't just talking about my, like, I just annoyed or nothing like that. Nah, I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about my real nerves, like the actual nerves within my body. The actual nerves within my body be irritated. The actual nerves within my body is irritated in a mug, man. I'm telling you. Very, very irritated. Like, if yo, here's the thing, man. If your nervous system has never been compromised, then you really can't relate. You really can't relate when it comes to a lot of stuff. You know, I can relate to the people whose nervous system is compromised. You know what I mean? One thing about that nervous system, once it gets compromised, it takes a long time for that bad boy to come back to where it need to be. You know what I mean? Like, once a nervous system gets compromised, it's OV. It's really OV as far as being comfortable. It's OV as far as just being. It's been so long since I just was able just to be. You feel what I mean? Just to be. That like just it's a blessing to just be able to just be calm and nervous system regulated and just chilling with no type of interference upon your nervous system. That is not something that I am privy to, and I haven't been privy to for like 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? What's wrong with your nervous system? Oh, did somebody ask? Oh, okay. Back in the day, man, I used to play football, man. I played football like tough. You know what I mean? Like, just for reference, excuse me, y'all. Just for reference, man, I'm 145 pounds or something like that. You know what I mean? Like on a good day. Like right now, probably like 145, 147, something like that. You know, back in high school, I was anywhere between 135 and 140, right? And I'm not one of them niggas that's gonna reminisce on high school at all. But this is just goes into the backstory. You know what I mean? I guess you can even take it back even further. When I was a kiddo, man, about sixth grade playing football, man, me and a dude, we went head up, man. Both of our heads were down, and we clashed. You know, head down, both head down, and we was kids, so the force of it wasn't crazy because we were only children. But oh, excuse me, y'all. Nonetheless, it still ended up, being something that definitely was detrimental to both of us. So I ended up spraining my neck, right? So I sprained my neck, and the muscles were sprained. But what ended up happening was the bone in the joint of the neck actually got notched off a little bit. You feel what I mean? That's crazy, right? Like if you walking around with a notched spine, like your spine is off kilter, man, it's one of them silent killers, man. I'm telling you, it's one of them silent killers. Whereas nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know, but you're gonna be in pain. You might not even know. You might not even know if your spine is messed up. Real talk, you might not even know, man. Because from my experience, a disclaimer: I'm no physician at all. I'm no type of doctor, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So you talk to your doctor. But from my experience, you feel me? Once the uh once the spine gets compromised, once the spine gets crunched or knocked off kilter, it it it's one of those joints. It's the master lock key joint of the whole body. So it's involved in all of the joints. The spine is involved in all of the joints. You know what I mean? Wherever it be, your fingers, the joints in your head, jaw, shoulders, ankles, excuse me, y'all toes, whatever it may be, the spine is very involved. And once it gets compromised, the spine itself, all of the other, like your rib cage, in my experience, and this is from true healing, like I only learned this from it reversing, so this is real time stuff. Like, when the spine releases, it teaches you something, you know what I mean? And so like your pelvis and all that, the rib cage, once the spine gets compromised, the rib cage collapses. So your rib cage collapses down, and in my understanding from my own body, like I said, I'm not a physician or nothing. From my own body, my understanding is that the rib cage collapses to protect not only the spinal cord but also heart, lungs, all of the vital stuff, right? The things that could be, that could potentially be life threatening. So once the spine gets compromised, the rib cage collapses. Once the rib cage collapses, everything else notches off. So over time, and then just depending on what sports you played and what movements you was doing, and we grew up in a time too, man. Like we grew up in a time where we was coming out. I just put it this way: we was coming out the back of the era where they said water made you weak. You feel what I'm saying? They said water, like it wasn't even like when I was in the 2010s, before in the 2000 early 2000s, 2010s, when we was playing sports, it was only 50 years ago where they was giving cats ice cubes with salt in the middle of the summer, 2 a days. Couldn't drink no water. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't until cats started passing away on the field that they started to actually look at this thing and understand. So it's really not nobody's fault, because the way we was taught was you just rough, tough, fight through it, rub some dirt in it. You know what I mean? Rub some dirt in it, little dude, and you'll be all right, man. Rub some dirt in it, little dude, and you'll be all right. You feel what I'm saying? So we coming out the back of that. We coming out the back of that mindset. So there was no real warm up, rehab, joint mobility. There was none of that coming up. Now the like God bless the information that we got now. Now the kids is way safer when they play sports, way safer when they engage and act and excuse me. Damn. The kids is way more protected and cared for when it comes to athletic competition at this point. You feel me? So praise God for that, because we coming off the back of, like I said, salt ice cubes in the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? When they was playing ball. So rough and tough. But you roll up on any 50, 60-year-old and it's joint problems, you know what I mean? Neck pain, back pain, you know what I'm saying? And that's a direct result of us not paying attention to things like rehab, and things like making sure that you properly warm up, properly cool down, things of that nature, right? So shout out to anybody that is making sure that the kids are not only reaching their highest potential athletically, but also they are able to move on further in their life afterwards, and have their body intact. Because for me, when it came down to it, the rib cage collapsed a long time ago. So when the rib cage collapses, you feel me, your body goes into this fight or flight. And we all know what fight or flight is. It's like your body is always saying, it's just always, always, always on, you know what I mean? It's just always saying, always, you know what I mean? It's just always, always, always. It's like if your nervous system is compromised, it's almost like it's air horns. You know what I mean? Like in your nervous system all day, in your body all the time. You know what I mean? So I feel for anybody that got a compromised nervous system. Like it is not nothing to play with. And when you really look at it, really think about it, man, the nervous system, if your nervous system is compromised, you are effectively in hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you, you're effectively in hell. Anybody that feels that they are a prisoner in their own body can relate to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that has spine issues can relate to what I'm saying. You feel what I mean? I might look like a strong dude, but there's certain issues and spine issues that really, man, really had to fight through for like 15 years, man. It took 10 years just for my spine to come to a point where it is now where it will actually relax and release, man. Like if you ain't never felt your disconnect, you know what I'm saying? You just can't relate. You know what I mean? So you never know what people's walking around with inside of their body. You never know what the nervous system is saying to somebody at any given time. You know what I mean? You never know. Because once that nervous system is compromised, you basically just in hell, man. It's basically hell. It's hell, man. Because when your body's in fight or flight, you're always getting what feels like when you get, like, say somebody jump scare you, that feeling in your inside, like that fire feeling. It's pretty much that is all the time, and that'll actually fire off at any time. When your nervous system is compromised, that feeling will fire off at any time. And that such a bizarre thing. Imagine you just sitting down chilling, ain't nothing dangerous about the situation you in, and boom, you feel as if something just scared you really bad, or something just jump scared you, or like you had a haunted house, scared of it. You know what I mean? That's what happens when your nervous system is compromised, man. You're basically just in hell, man. And like the frequency that you emit when your nervous system is compromised is one that is unmatched, right? You just emitting a frequency of fear, of angst, of um just straight like hurt and anguish. You know what I mean? So I feel for anybody in the world. I feel for you if you got a compromised nervous system. You know what I mean? Fight or flight. Keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting. If you got a compromised nervous system, keep fighting. Do whatever it is that you can to get that nervous system back regulated. Do whatever it is you can, because at the end of the day, that literally is heaven or hell for you here. You know what I mean? And if your nervous system is regulated and good, hey man, take care of it, man, and like really, really make sure that you appreciate that. Because there's some people walking around. I know there's a Jack Harlow song sometime back, on one of his albums. He said, "I know people living with a never-ending stomach ache." You feel what I mean? I didn't get that until I got that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's definitely people out here living with a never-ending stomach ache, man. There's people out here living with nervous systems that's compromised that the body hasn't even let them know yet. So they don't even know. They don't even know that they compromised. That is an ugly place to be. Like, you don't even know that you compromised. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. So it's so imperative, what I mean, when it comes to the spinal cord. Like, it's so imperative. I learned so much about the spinal cord just by it being hurt, that, what I mean, I learned enough for a lifetime when it comes to the spinal cord. I learned that the spinal cord is literally, or the spinal column is, it's literally the one of the only spiritual and physical body parts that you have when you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's spiritual and physical. You feel what I'm saying? Because what happens when we work a lot? You break your back, your spine start hurting. It's spiritual, man. That's literally in the Bible. It says that you know what I'm saying, the curse would be that he'd have to eat. He had to work the ground and eat by the sweat of his brow. You feel what I'm saying? And so, like, to me, when I think about that, all I think about is a cat that was standing upright, didn't have to worry about nothing. And then boom, now everything's cursed. Now he gotta bend down, he gotta till the ground, he gotta work the ground. Now his nervous system compromised. Now his spine's compromised, man. And if your spine compromised, man, I'm not just saying this for nothing. Because there's somebody, man, there's somebody who feel like it's never gonna change and it feel like it's never gonna get better. But you gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep fighting when it comes to that, man, because not only is the spinal cord like in the spine, the spiritual and physical body part, but it's also the one of the only body parts that's not one of the only, but it's one of the big body parts that's really working in your favor. Like it will protect, it will collapse on itself to protect you at all cost. You know what I mean? To protect that spinal cord at all costs. Because you think about it, we literally just a spinal cord and a brain stem. That's crazy. We really just a spinal cord and a brain stem walking around in a meat suit. You feel what I mean? When you really sit back and think about that, you just think about like, yo, that's crazy, man. That really like what? I'm just a all I am really is just a spinal cord in a brain. You know what I mean? In a brain stem that's just, controlling this whole apparatus. Man, come on, man. Like, remember on Men in Black when they opened up bruh's head and little buddy was in there working? That's kinda like really what we are. You know what I'm saying? It's really just kinda like what just we are. We just a little dude inside a big dude, working the controls and you know what I'm saying, making sure that we, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things, bro. And I stress it to everybody because it's one thing, a lot of times you can't see like somebody might be complaining about something and they might be hurt and but other people can't feel they hurt, you know what I mean? And that honestly might be the most hurtful thing about being hurt is that nobody can feel your hurt. No amount of empathy can make somebody feel your body and feel the angst that your body's in. You know what I mean? So eventually you just end up keeping it to yourself until you roll up on somebody that got the same ailment and you like, oh shoot. Then you try to give them the game. You try to, you know what I'm saying? I will personally say I didn't help heal for sure one spinal cord, for sure one spinal column with the stretch that I learned along my way that I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? There was a youngin, man. He came to me, he young. His back was hurting, hips was hurting. I told him how to do this stretch. He came back to me. He was like, man, that saved my life. He was like, that saved my life. And I'm just thinking like, what? Cause I like again, I can't feel what he feeling. You know what I mean? But I just understand when somebody back hurting, when they hips hurting, I understand it's all connected, man. Like your body will send so many subtle signals to you that you're literally going into overdrive, like your nervous system is attacking itself and it's breaking down at a rapid rate. But especially being young, you just won't take those things serious, especially in the black community, bro. We not going to the doctor, gang. Man, y'all, hey, y'all know y'all peepaws and y'all papaws and y'all granddaddies, y'all know how they was back in their 40s, 50s. They was not going to no doctor. It's a whole stereotype for black people. Like, we not going to the doctor. And there's many reasons for that we ain't got to go into, but we not really fond of stepping foot in that doctor, you know what I mean, or going to that doctor at all. You know what I mean? And so that's not really a good thing. It's not a flex at all. It's not a flex at all. Let's just put it that way. Not a flex at all for us to not go to the doctor. Like go to the doctor, man. Cause the doctor, like, at least they got some expertise and can be able to, you know what I'm saying, can be able to facilitate some type of healing for you. You know, a lot of times being a black person not trusting in the medical field, in the medical system and everything like that for whatever reasons. It's many reasons we ain't got going to, but for whatever reasons, you know what I mean. Being a black person and not trusting in that, it really does end up hurting us in the long run. Like it really ends up messing us over in the long run because we wait till stuff is really bad before we get to the doctor. You know what I mean? And then when stuff's really bad. But then there's a flip side too, whereas I've seen people that go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, they want to do a certain type of treatment, they're not going to do this treatment, and they end up living longer. So shout out to them people that make the decision concerning their body, you know what I mean, when it comes to treatment and whatnot, to either refuse, and then they end up being better in the long run. You know what I mean? It's really, you got to be in tune with your body. I think that's one thing. One thing that having a hurt body or a compromised nervous system will teach you is that it makes you in tune with your own vessel. Like, it makes you really in tune with your body to the point where nobody can really tell you anything about your body. Now, obviously, you won't listen to the professionals about it because they've seen many bodies. They study the body. They study how it works. You know what I mean? And they know more than you do. That's just the facts of the matter, man. The doctors and the lawyers they know more than we do. You know what I mean? So to not listen to them is definitely not a good thing. But at the end of the day, it is your vessel, so you do got to take appropriate action with your vessel the way that you feel necessary to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't feel comfortable with a treatment or then by all means refuse. By all means be like, nah, let's do something different. You feel what I'm saying? But if you go in there with the mindset of, I'm just not going to at all, I'm not gonna even listen to what they got to say at all, then that definitely ain't where you want to be at all. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to be that person that doesn't listen to the professionals. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. But it's ultimately your decision, no matter what, when it comes to your body. Just the fact, and we know that, man. And that's something that we got to come to grips with. We really do. Man, make sure you hydrating too. Golly, make sure you hydrating. Oh man, make sure you hydrating, man. Out here, it's about to be summertime. It's finna be hot in the mud. It's finna be, you know what I'm saying? You finna be sweating, boy. Make sure I had to stop hitting the sauna for that very reason. I had to stop hitting the sauna because it's like, I'm draining my whole everything. Like, I'm just draining it all out. Every day I'm draining it all out. Every day I'm draining it all out. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, eventually you gotta hold on to some of them fluids, gang. Pause. You gotta hold on to it, man. I sit in the sauna for 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, man. Just on some, just on that. You know what I mean? For real. Just sitting there for hour, 2 hours, just on that, bro. And I love it. I love it. For whatever reason, the sauna, I love the sauna. Like, I love sitting there and I like the feeling of the blanket of the heat. It's just something about it. Like, I'm like a lizard or something, like on a hot rock. You feel what I mean? And I just like it. You know what I mean? But eventually it takes a lot of replenishing. It takes a whole bunch of replenishing when it comes to that. It takes a whole bunch of replenishing when it comes to sitting in that sauna a lot. I'm a sauna warrior. You can ask anybody in my local YMCA. I'm a sauna warrior. I'm talking about a sauna warrior. I'm talking about, you might catch Damon in the sauna. You might come in the morning, leave, come back early afternoon. Damon's still in the sauna. I'm still in the sauna. You feel what I mean? So I'm a sauna warrior. To the point I had to get it down to a science. All right, first we drinking the coconut water. Then we taking the regular water. Then we got the Gatorade. Knock the Gatorade down. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to survive. Because if not, I done been in the sauna and you start, your lower back start cramping up. You feel what I'm saying? You start overheating for real. You get dizzy. I done been there. I done been in the sauna to where, and this, I don't recommend this for nobody. Please do not do this. Do not follow my example at all. You feel me? But I done been in the sauna for a long enough time where you start getting cold chills. Yo! Damn! You do not want to be in a hot sauna feeling cold chills. I think it's time to get out of here. It's time to get up through. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a sauna warrior. I stay in that sauna forever. I ain't even been in the sauna in a while, and I miss it. I miss it dearly. I dearly miss the sauna, man. But, you know, I'm trying to gain some weight. I'm trying to put some weight on me, man. I'm tired of being frail little guy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to beef up on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Trying to beef up on their ass. You know what I mean? You ever get that inkling to be like, I'm trying to beef up on them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get swole on them. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think every dude come to that time in their life where they like, nah, I'm about to get swole. Like straight up. Just about to see what it is, see what it's like. You know what I mean? To walk around 20, 25, 30 pounds heavier than what I've walked around in my life in general. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do that for sure. Trying to do that. For sure trying to do that, man. Cause after a while you just I don't know, it's just physicality. You just start thinking about physicality. Like you don't want to be the dude who 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 can get held down. Nah. Nah. I know everybody got their yams, and so it's it is what it is. But when it comes to physicality, man to man, mano y mano, man, you want to be able to be able to hold yourself down. You feel what I'm saying? You want to be able to hold it down. Shout out to all my family that's fighters. We some fighting, we some fighters. So yeah, I mean we can fight, but it ain't no. Sometimes it ain't enough fight in you. If somebody bigger than you, it's just not enough fight in you. You just ain't gonna have enough fight in you. You know what I mean? To be able to maneuver, especially if they can fight too. Man, come on. If they can fight too, if you 120, they 180, and they can fight too, you gonna have to use some type of different force. I'm just gonna say that much. You gonna have to use some type of different force. Because it might not end up the way that you want to end up, man. I remember training MMA with my little brother, man. He a pro MMA fighter. Man, I remember training with them, gang. Not no joke. You think you tough. You think you tough, bro. You think you hard body till you gotta spar with some cats that do that. Like you think you tough till you gotta spar with some cats that actually do that. You feel what I'm saying? When you get into the ring with some cats that actually do that, you realize, oh, I can't fight at all. I can't fight. You know what I'm saying? I can't fight. Air horns for the people that started their self-awareness journey in the ring or in the octagon. Cause that's honestly, everybody need to go and go mano y mano and train a little bit, train to fight a little bit at some point. Everybody does. I don't care who you is. Everybody needs to go get punched in the face a couple times. You know what I mean? Get punched in the face a couple times, and then see how you look at the world after that. You feel what I'm saying? If you still tough guy, hard body, then you might just be hard body. You might just be a hard body individual. You feel what I mean? But most of the time, it'll humble you. I know when I got punched in the face the first time, like really punched in the face, definitely humbled me. When I was fighting, like, you feel what I'm saying? And somebody had they glove on my head, and I'm just fighting like a little kid. I'm throwing my hardest punches, and it ain't doing nothing. Oh yeah, that humbled me. That humbled me as a 29-year-old grown man. Just last year, that humbled me. I said, oh, y'all really do this. This ain't no jokey. Y'all really fighting. You know what I'm saying? They fighting in there. You feel what I'm saying? I still have flashbacks of my little brother's overhand right. Hey. Man, come on, you know what the most humbling experience in life is? When you bully somebody all their life, like as a big brother, and then they become a professional MMA fighter. Yeah, we on the same team now. That's how I'm gonna say. I'm glad we on the same team. I'm glad we just on the same team now. You feel what I mean? Cause ain't no going toe to toe with my little bro. I'm just saying. Ain't no going toe to toe with my little bro. This is my little brother. And don't get me started on my little sister. She fight too. She go hard in the paint too. Now we done put them ways behind us now. But hey, don't get it twisted. Family full of fighters, man. Shout out to Larry Thunderfoot Carrington. Air horns for Larry Thunderfoot Carrington. You know what I'm saying? Air horns for Big Unk, man. Cause he a fighter, man. Fought in the UFC before it was the UFC. You feel what I'm saying? Fought like was really fighting. You know what I mean? Really was putting in work. really was, you know what I'm saying, really was hard body. You know what I mean? Really was a firefighter in New Jersey. You know what I mean? I think that's like the hardest body other than New York. That's like the hardest body firefighters on earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's big. So it's like when you eventually when you grow up in a fighting family, you eventually got to go take your licks. Eventually you got to get your licks. Eventually you got to go handle that. Eventually, you know what I'm saying. You're not getting around it neither. You're not getting around it neither. So everybody needs to at some point step in the ring at some point and catch a couple to the face. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Bing bing. Eventually. Eventually. Because I think we would have less crash outs. We would have way less crash outs, man. Way less crash outs if people had to go and spar twice a week. You feel what I mean? If people had to go spar twice a week, we have way less crash outs in life in general. If people had to spar twice a week, and you had to go spar with somebody that could fight better than you. You know what I mean? Somebody that could potentially beat you up. Somebody that might beat you up. Somebody that put hands on you. You know what I mean? And you can't get mad because once the round ends, the round ends. That was the hardest part. Once the round ends and you beat up, you like, I remember first time I hit the canvas. I never got hit and hit the canvas. Never in my life hit the ground off somebody hitting me. But then when it happened, I said, oh, I guess getting knocked down ain't the worst thing in the world. But it's definitely a humbling experience. It's a self-awareness journey. You start your self-awareness journey the moment you take a punch to the face, bow, and you chin check. And here's the thing. Everybody go in like, yeah, I'm ready to do this, I'm ready to do that, I'm ready, until you get, like Mike Tyson said, till you get punched in the face, boom. That changes everything, bro, because that's your brain, that hit you, boom. That changed the whole, because what your whole system is saying is, hey, get out of there. Your whole system is like, hey, man, this ain't a good idea. You just got punched in the face, man. You just got that, like, at all costs, human beings, we trying to protect this. You know what I mean? And so when you get hit in the head, boom, somebody stick you and they still there. Oh, nah. I remember me and Lil Bro sparred one time, a long time ago, and I was trying to call myself boxing. And we sparred. And I remember we was boop, 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 and he hit me with one on the chin, bow. Dazed me. I started thinking about quarters. I start the little birds start flying over my head. You feel what I'm saying? They was tweet, 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 tweet around my head. And he's a little bro, so he didn't finish me off. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But he could have. I was dazed. I had no control over nothing. And I think that's why a lot of people scared to get into the ring and put in any work just on a training tip, because it's a environment where you can't control. It's an environment where you gotta earn your control. You gotta earn that control. You have to earn it. You're not gonna be able to just go in there and do, like, everybody's got this grandiose plan. This grandiose plan of what they're gonna do when they get in the ring. Everybody has this. I'm like, just talk to anybody. Talk to anybody. And they'll say, yo, they'll be like, I can do this. I can do that. I can fight. I'll do this when I get in the ring. I'll do that. Okay. Go! Damn! All right. Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's like cats being like, I'll go to Diamond Gym and then I'll be the best in there. Okay. We gonna see. We gonna definitely see what you about. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, if anybody wanna set up a fight, we can definitely set up a fight. If you can fight, we can set up a fight, man. Let's get some money. 100%. I'll fight you. 100%. I'll fight you. But you can't be too good. You can't be too good. She ain't gonna wear me out. You can't be too good. Can't be too good. But you can't we can't get out. You know what I mean? If we on the same type of level, we can't get out. You know what I mean? We can't, you know what I mean? We can't get out. We make it happen. 100%. You know what I mean? There's one thing about once you take a punch and you get one back, and then you able to maneuver just a little bit, you good. Confidence is up. That's the one thing about fighting. You're not gonna stay on the bottom forever. Pause. Like you're not gonna stay just getting beat up forever. Nobody does, man. You know, nobody. I don't care who you is. Nobody. You can be the most weakling, chumpy, wimpy. You are not going to stay down forever. I promise you, you will not stay down forever. You will not stay down forever. Just know that. Just know that, believe that, understand that. You ain't gonna stay down forever. Nobody stay down forever. Everybody has a moment where they say, you know what, I'm not gonna just keep getting beat up. And they stand up. You feel me? You feel what I mean? They stand up and they end up doing something. They end up making something out of it. You know what I'm saying? For real. Even if it's just, you survived around. Even if it's just you survived around, gang. Everybody, at some point makes it to where they're like, I'm not just gonna keep just taking this. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what it is that I gotta do to survive this round, to be, you feel me, to be at least some type of threat in here. Because you want to be some type of threat. You want to be some type of threat in the ring. Some type of threat in the ring. You don't want to just be no wet noodle in there, just getting tossed around, beat up. You don't want that. You want to be some type of threat. Some type of threat, right? 100%, man. Some type of threat. Got to be some type of threat in life, especially as a man. Especially as a man, man. Especially as a man, man. A lot of people that think that they can just go in the ring and they just gonna just beat up whoever and they got this overconfidence. A lot of them be in the sunken place. You know what I mean? A lot of people be in the sunken place nowadays. And what the sunken place is, this is a place where you are just like the movie. You know what I'm saying? You just watching life. You just watching life. You just watching it happen. A lot of us are in the sunken place. And so when we see people that's not in the sunken place, it scares us. It startles us. Because some of us is in the driver's seat. Some of us, we in the driver's seat. And we're going to make it happen in the driver's seat. You feel what I mean? We're going to do what we got to do in the driver's seat. You feel what I'm saying? Some of us are. But a lot of us are in the sunken place, man. Just really just sat back and watching through the lens of our eyes because of whatever it is that we have given up our autonomy to. You feel what I mean? So if you in the sunken place, like, I hope you skip my videos. Like, I hope you do. Like, I hope you skip them. I really hope. And I say this with sincere love. I hope you skip them. Because I need for them to get to who they supposed to get to. Like, if you come through this stream and you in a sunken place, I hope you go ahead and move along. I hope you move along, move around, and I hope you find where you supposed to be. Because I learned something a long time ago. A no is just getting you closer and closer to a yes. Just getting you closer and closer to a yes. You feel what I mean? A no is just getting you closer and closer to a yes. Closer and closer to a yes. Every no gets you closer and closer and closer to a yes. You feel what I'm saying? Every single one. So we definitely gotta keep ourselves from the sunken place, man. And the way to keep yourself from the sunken place really just to keep your frequency high, man. And not even high like where you think you gotta be, all the time, so happy and nah, man, that ain't it. That ain't it. Trying to be perfect all the time ain't it. I'm telling you from experience. Trying to be perfect all the time, it really ends up in disaster. It really ends up in disaster. Trying to appear perfect all the time ends up in disaster every time. I don't care who you is. I don't care what you're doing. It's going to end up in disaster, trying to appear perfect. That's why social media is so warped, especially Instagram, because everybody's trying to appear perfect, right? And it really, what appearing perfect does is pushes you further and further and further back into the sunken place. It pushes you further and further back into the sunken place because you're operating from a lens, whereas it's not reality. So you're operating from this imperfect place, trying to project this perfectness, and it's not possible. So trying to appear perfect all the time is way more work than just being a human being and experiencing and figuring things out in that way. Way more beneficial to figure it out. To figure it out. Way more beneficial to figure it out in your autonomy, in who it is that you are. Because being in the sunken place and trying to project perfection is only going to bring you imperfection. Because what imperfection is us, right? And so if we're trying to project perfection, it's not something that we can do. We can't project perfection. That's why Instagram is so warped. Because we're projecting perfection, but in reality, back deep, you is imperfection. And when you're trying to project it, it pushes you deeper into the sunken place. Because you're projecting something that is not reality. When in truth, projecting perfection is really just imperfection screaming out loud. You feel what I mean? It's just screaming. And that energy is going to bounce back and come right back to you. So it's just going to be more and more imperfection on the inside that you're going to try to be covering up by projecting perfection. You feel what I mean? So it's in my opinion, it's much better just to be you. Be who you is, man. Be who you is, don't be who you ain't. You feel what I'm saying? Be who you is. That's between you and God. It's between you and God who you is. You know what I mean? Y'all work it out. Y'all work it out. Because spirituality, without the ability to change your reality, is just vanity. It's just vanity. It's just vanity at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If you can't change your reality, because this reality is meant to be changed. If you can't change your reality, if you can't poke and prod the universe to get what you want, you feel what I mean? To get the true positive desires. Because only evil is not something to be desired. Evil is something that you get deceived into. You feel what I'm saying? Evil is not something to be desired. It's something that you get deceived into. So anytime that you're trying to project that perfection and trying to embody that perfection, you're getting deceived into evil. I'm telling you. You get straight up deceived into evil. And I don't want that for nobody. I don't. I'd rather you just be who you is and work it out that way. Work it out. Work it out the best way you can. Cause can't nobody work it out for you. And ain't nobody gonna work it out for you. I promise you that. You can take that to the bank. Ain't nobody gonna work it out for you. Ain't nobody lining up to work it out for you. I promise you. That's on everything I love. Ain't nobody lining up to work nothing out for you. You got to do it on your own. You got to go through your progressions, basically. You got to go through your progressions, man. For real, for real. And honestly, we got to stop trying to reach people in the sunken place too. You gotta let people that's in the sunken place just be in the sunken place. If they want to be in the sunken place, let them just be in the sunken place, bro. For real. If they want to be in the sunken place, let them be in the sunken place, bro. Straight up. A lot of us is comfortable with the sunken place. It's a comfortable place. It's a place of no worry, or so we think. or so we think. It's a place of no worry. It's a place where we can be. You know what I'm saying? What we think is ourselves, and we can begin to try to understand whatever. But it's like we're not understanding anything until you come to the forefront. I had somebody tell me the other day. It was like your eyes are really bright, and I'm like, what does that even mean? And they was like, it made me want to open my eyes. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm saying, okay, you seeing something. You talking about these eyes, but you seeing something totally different. Like you seeing something totally different. You seeing something totally different. You feel what I mean? You talking about these eyes, but you seeing something totally different. And it hit me in that moment. I was like, oh, okay, so it's in the gaze. It's in the gaze, man. It's in the gaze. I promise you, it's in the gaze. When you, it's that look. That's your power. That look. You know what I mean? That's what drives away all negativity. Is that gaze, that look, man. The way you can, and just it drives things away. You know what I mean? You can your look, your very look, when you embodying yourself. When you embodying yourself, your very look will drive away anything negative from you. Your very look. Your very look will drive it all away. You feel what I mean? It'll drive it clean away. Just you ever run up on somebody, or whatever, they don't even want to look at you. They can't even look at it. It's cause your gaze. It's cause your gaze is high. And that comes from training your energy, being able to build it up. You feel what I'm saying? Being able to charge yourself up. You feel what I mean? Gotta be able to charge yourself up. It's up to you to charge yourself up. It's up to you to charge yourself up. Totally up to you to charge yourself up. You feel what I'm saying? It's up to you. It's in your gaze. Make sure your gaze is on point. And that comes from your inner core. Your inner core. That's where your gaze come from, your inner core. That's where you can embody who it is that you are from your inner. You know what I mean? And people don't understand that. They're not gonna understand your inner, you're not gonna understand their inner. But real recognize real at the end of the day. So make sure your gaze is on point. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure your gaze is on point. Make sure you moving in what it is that you're supposed to move in. And I wish I saw what that was, but that didn't pop up. I don't know what that. I don't think my freaking. I don't know. What's the name? Chat not working or something. Let's see. Because I want to see. I always want to see what chat says. So let's see what that was. I'm gonna go to my stream manager real quick. Oh, that just must have been a ghost chat. That was a ghost chat. That was a ghost chat. I don't even know what that was. I'm a little concerned. What was that? It was just a random cling. Whatever. But like I was saying, embody your essence. Don't trade it for nothing. Embody your frequency. Don't trade it for nothing. And there's certain ways that you can do that I'm not even going to talk about. I'm not even going to talk about it here. I'm just not. But there's certain ways that you can embody your essence and strengthen your gaze to where nothing can come into your aura field and begin to try to break it down and begin to try to, you know what I mean? A lot of people like this type of information too. That's the thing. A lot of people like this information. They just be so afraid. They'd be afraid of what people may think. They may be afraid of traditions that they've been indoctrinated into. They're afraid of a lot of things when it comes to speaking what's in the inner. A lot of people are afraid of that because when you start speaking like that, the system don't like it. The system don't like it. The matrix is set up for it, but the system doesn't like it. The system is in within the matrix. You feel what I mean? The system is against the matrix. 100%. Because the matrix was set up for who? For us. The matrix was set up for us. It's our, we have control over the matrix. We really do. That's why you see humans controlling things. We can only be influenced from the outside by different spiritual things, different energy. We can only be influenced. We can't be forced because we control it. We control the matrix. You see what I'm saying? And the bots and all that, they all they can do is be bots. All they can do is be bots. That's all they can do. Like in the Matrix, remember the agents? All they could do was be bots. They could only work for the system. They can only work for the system. That's it. That's it. And we get broken down into the system. The system breaks us down, breaks us down, breaks us down. And ends up having us to submit to it. You feel what I mean? Ends up having us to submit to it. That must have been on Kick. I bet you that was a Kick chat. I got my Kick ain't working, y'all. My Kick chat ain't working. I'm sorry. Let me go look. But yeah, the system can only serve itself. You know what I mean? It looks like I got a new follower, I think. Appreciate it. The system can only serve itself. You know what I mean? And the system can it goes against the matrix. The system will go against the matrix at all costs to oppress those that have control over it. And that is the biggest thing that we got to realize. Got to realize that. You got to realize that. That the system is not set up for us, but the matrix is set up for us to be able to poke and prod it. We got control over the matrix. We got control over the matrix. You feel what I'm saying? We really do. We really have control over it. The information has been snatched from us so much that it ends up being a case of just not knowing identity. You know what I'm saying? Just a case of not knowing our identity. That's all it is. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Just not knowing our identity, not knowing who we are, not knowing what it is that we possess and we can do. And that's the whole goal of the Matrix. To have you to forget, to not know your true power and potential. That's it. That's all it is. It's pretty simple, really. It's pretty simple. And to get rid of it, it's all the natural stuff. You gotta go in and do the natural things. You gotta step away from what the system is trying to feed you. You gotta step away from what the system is trying to tell you, what it's trying to propagate to you. You feel what I mean? The system gonna try to propagate so much stuff to us that at the end of the day, it's just set up to overwhelm. That's it. It's just set up to overwhelm. But just like in MMA fighting, once you get over the overwhelming factor, you're able to fight back. You're able to fight back. Like I was able to fight against sleep paralysis just the other night. Fully calm, fully lucid, fully aware. For the first time in my life, I was able to fight back against sleep paralysis. And we all know what that sleep paralysis is like too. I don't care who you is, especially if you sleep on your back and you wake up and everything is just scary and the cortisol gets rolling through your blood and you feel like, I don't know, you feel like something watching you or something standing over you or something moving around or I kept it calm. I said Psalm 23. You feel what I mean? Because like I said before, the Psalms, they got the keys to the universe. I don't care what nobody said, the Psalms got it. You feel me? And so I said that and fully calm, everything. It went away. And then from there, what usually happens is I'm still afraid after. Like, come out of it still afraid. I was totally peaceful, totally calm. Because I knew it was just the parasites trying to eat. They was trying to scare me to eat. They just want to traumatize us to eat, man. That's all it is. They want to traumatize us to eat off the trauma. That's it, man. And people don't understand that. People afraid of that because they've been so locked into whatever they've been locked in mentally for so long that they don't like to hear that something is trying to feed off of them. But if we look in this natural world, everything is feeding off of everything. Us and the trees, we got a symbiotic relationship, right? We breathe out carbon, they breathe out oxygen. So everything is feeding off of everything. So why would you not think that that's the same way in the unseen? You feel what I mean? Why would you not think that? Why would you not think that? Why would you not think that when something tries to scare you or traumatize you, that maybe it's not just for your being afraid, maybe it's for them to eat off of it? Like, why don't we take movies like Monsters Inc. a little bit more serious? You feel what I mean? Why don't we take it a little bit more serious when they was trying to scare the kids? You know what I mean? To feed off of them. It ain't just the kids, man. It's adults too. And honestly, you get a lot that there's a lot more volume. There's a lot more volume in adult fear. There's more potency in the kid fear, but there's a lot more volume in adult fear. There's a lot more adults on earth. So think about it. If you fed off of fear and you could scare 1/3 of the adults on the earth, you probably gonna eat up pretty good. You probably gonna eat up pretty good. And that's where we at with this thing. And we got to start realizing that, man. We walk around in fear all day. Everybody's afraid, worried. It's just after a while, when you step back and you look and you start to be able to, when you start to understand your place in the world and in the matrix, you start to understand that, oh no, bro, I can make this thing do what I want it to do. You start understanding anything that's coming from the outside trying to scare you is literally just something trying to eat, man. It's trying to eat. Any type of trauma is trying to eat. It's trying to eat. Now, real life situations happen, real things happen in real life. But the main thing that we got focused on is with the inner of us. Because anything that's happening is happening to somebody on the outside. And you can't control that, right? All you can do is set up provisions to protect other people. That's it. You can't control it. And that's a hard thing for us parents. It's really hard. Even saying that now, it's like, damn, it's hard. Having a kid, that's hard to think about. Like, can't control everything. You can't. But we made it this far. See what I'm saying? We made it this far. So instead of teaching our kids to be afraid and worried and this and that, let's teach them what's actually trying to gain something off of their fear. What's trying to gain something off of their cortisol. You know what I mean? Let's teach them about that. Like, hey, when you get afraid and your cortisol's rush, this is what's happening. You feel what I mean? That's really how we got to start moving. Really how we got to start moving. We got to start understanding, because as soon as you pick this thing up, man, it's time. It's go time. It's go time. It's feed time. As soon as you pick this up, something's triggered. Like, all right, we got another battery cell going. Time to charge up off of it. Time to charge up off of it. And a lot of us, we wake up and look at it. On it all day. It's a problem. It's an issue. That's why I keep talking about it. It's an issue. I'm not gonna quit talking about it. It's an issue. It's a problem. It's an issue, man. It's an issue. These phones is an issue. These phones is an issue. These phones, it's not no joke. These phones is an issue, man. These phones is a problem, big problem. But we got the keys to make it happen. We got the keys to turn the problem on its head. You feel what I mean? We got the keys, man. Air horns for that. Air horns for that, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you follow at D Street.